Welcome to the Global Dream. Today, we are going to discuss about object-oriented programming and how object-oriented programming works, especially how inheritance work. All right. In the last class, we already discussed how we can create object from a class, and we already discussed in the previous class what is class, what is object, how object can be created, and how we can execute the whole process. All right, today without further ado, I want to go directly to inheritance. But before we go to inheritance, we have to also create several objects and go further step by step how um, child object, sorry, a child class or subclass can inherit all the properties, methods, and function of parent class or superclass. Okay, uh, let me create uh, a file inheritance.py. Here is inheritance.py, OOP inheritance or inheritance.py. Okay, now first we have to know what is class. Class is nothing but a blueprint. Class is what? Blueprint. Blueprint. And we know blueprint is nothing but just simply a design, a template. You can say templates. Okay. And this templates, blueprints, designs are abstract, not concrete. Okay. Now, what is object then? Object. Object is created from the blueprint template. Okay. Created from class. Okay. From class, from blueprints or template. And since object is the final product, it is also concrete, we can say concrete. Okay, now let me give a little idea, little more, though we already discussed. Say for example, this is class. Okay, and inside the class we have instances. It can be properties. Okay, properties. Properties can be name, it can be age, it can be, if it is human being, um, it can be hair color, etc., etc. Okay, and so on. Okay, all right. And at the same time, these properties are has, right? Like if it is person, we can say a person can have, let me say, can have all this. Person can have name, age, hair color, profession, etc. At the same time, this same person uh, can do something, okay, can take action. The person can run, and definitely it is action. When we refer to an action, it can be method or function. We put parenthesis, and person can stop, person can sleep, okay, and person can do some other actions. So a person can have some properties, okay, and person can have some capabilities to do something. All right, now from this class, okay, from this class, now we want to create some object, okay. This is blueprint, and now from this blueprint, when we are creating something concrete, this is called an object. So we can say obj1, it can second object obj2, it can obj3, and so on, okay. It can be n number, we can create n number object, okay. Same way, say for example it is TV, class for TV, okay. TV can have name, it can have make year, it can have price, it can have color. At the same time, TV can run, TV can stop, TV can sleep, TV can entertain, okay, and so on. Now, just this class of, say for example, class of TV class, okay, and from TV class now we can create the first TV is TV1, second TV is TV2, TV3, TV4, and we can create actually million TV number million, say for example, right? Now let's try to understand the whole things with an example. All right, example with practical example, okay. Now we are going to create first create a blueprint, okay. Blueprint is class, and to start class we have to use class keyword, then name of that class, say for example teacher, okay, teacher, and teacher have some traits, okay. Def underscore underscore init underscore underscore, this is inbuilt function in Python, and this is class constructor. It is going to create constructs class blueprints, okay. Now, always the first parameter will be self, and self is an instance of the class teacher. Okay, this is an instance, and other parameters can be properties. A teacher can have a name. Okay, teacher can have, I can say first name, say for example first name and last name. Let us keep it simple. Then self, the first parameter self is an instance. We use this self parameter or class instance to create some blueprint. Okay, I can say first name. Actually, it can be anything. You can just write fn, okay, instead of first name. But the best practices is to write the same properties that you mention here. First name equal to first name, like this. Okay, then you can say self dot last name equal to last name. Okay, you define first name variable is equal to first name, this name. Okay, last name is this last name. But remember, this can be variable. Instead of first name, you can just even say f or f name. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's proceed. Now we can create another function. Okay, you know what is function? Function is a block of code, and it does only run when it is called by name. Okay, we discussed all these things in the previous lectures. If you have any confusion or any question, any doubts, okay, just go back to previous lessons and come back after watching those tutorials. If you don't understand, then go back. If you can follow what I am teaching, then keep going. Okay, how we create a function? There will be a def keyword. Okay, the name of the function, I can say display function. Okay, and always there will be self, and self is the instance of the class teacher. Okay, then I just can write block of code or codes. I can say hello everyone. Okay, my name is first name. Okay, I can say first name is self dot first name is f name. Okay, all right, then I can put a space. Okay, then just can say self dot last name. So last name, self dot last name. Okay, and first name's value will be later on, we will be declare and define. Okay, now what is function? Function is nothing but a block of code that only run when it is called. This is name of the function. When we will call it, it will execute, or it will be executed. Okay, now what we can do, we can create an object, right? I can say teacher. From teacher class, I'm going to create an object. How I can create an object? I can assign is equal to sign is assignments operator in Python, in any other programming languages also. Okay, and name of the object is, I can just say T1, or I can say teacher1. Okay, and I can at the same time say first name is Ratan Raman. Okay, and first name is Ratan, last name is Raman. And I can now access all properties and also function using this object. Okay, even I can say just obj, sorry, I can say obj1 means object 1. Okay, and I can now say obj1 dot, I can access the function display, right? And inside the function I have a print statement. Hello everyone, my name is sub.fname. Fname is first name, and we assign and define also, yeah, first name will be Ratan and last name will be Raman. And now if I just clear it and say Python inheritance dot py, and I say hello everyone, my name is Ratan Raman. Okay, even I can say age. Okay, and I can say self dot age equal to age. Even you can say just a, doesn't matter actually. Okay, and now you can also say Ratan Raman is a teacher and his age is 29. Okay, all right, and I can now also say, and I am, okay, self dot age. Now remember, age is integer and these are string. So in Python, we cannot execute it. It will tell you type error, cannot concatenate str and integer objects together. So to do it, we have to actually uh, convert it into string method. Converting method is str. Okay, and now you can run it. So I use string method to convert it. Okay, and this string method is inbuilt or built-in method in Python. Okay, now you can run it. Hello everyone, my name is Ratan and I am 29. Okay, you can also say 29 years old, no problem. All right, just clear it, then run again. I'm 29 years old. Now, this is an example of objects oriented programming, how we um, construct a blueprint. First we construct blueprints. Remember, class is nothing but a blueprint. Okay, blueprints, these are blueprints. We first design a blueprint, okay, a template, then this is also part of blueprints. Okay, so inside the class we have a constructor. This is inbuilt function or constructor, init function. Okay, we call it also basic method. These are properties. Okay, properties. Person can have name. Okay, teacher can have a name. I can have first name, last name, and age. Can have also salary. If you want to put some more properties, you can. Then class can have also method and function. Okay, so inside the class we can have properties. Okay, we can have also methods and functions. Okay, now using all these blueprints, okay, class, whatever we have inside the class, these are blueprints. Okay, now using all these blueprints, we create object. Teacher is a class. Okay, the same class, here, teacher. Okay, and using this teacher class we create the first object. Now you can create n number object. If you want, you can create another object. How? Not only another object, you can create now a million or billion object. Now you can say obj2. Okay, you can say obj3, you can say obj4. Thus you can keep creating. Okay, keep creating with this teacher class. Okay, so you can say teacher, you can say obj3 is equal to teacher. So from teacher class we are creating all these objects, and now you can say another teacher's name is Leonard. Okay, first name, last name is Gomes. Okay, and another teacher's name is, and age is say 19. 19 is too young. 21, excuse me, I'm sorry. And another name can be Bob, and Bob can be Hossein, and age can be 31, say for example. And another teacher can be Rubel, and Rubel is Raksham, and age is 23, say for example. Okay, now actually you can also call obj2 with display the same function. Okay, now just run it. We can see Leonard, another teacher, is there. obj3 display another teacher, Bob, is there. And obj4 another teacher, what is his name? Let me clear it. Rubel is there. Okay, now how we can inheritance. Now the question of inheritance. Excuse me. Now let me comment it. Okay, I commented, and now I want to inherit the properties and the method functions of the parent class teacher. This is parent class, and we call it also super class, right? Parents main class. Now we are going to create another class, and it will be a child class. You can say students. Okay, and this is child class to parent class, and excuse me, it can be also subclass. It is called subclass also. Okay, now subordinate class also, whatever. Then if we want to inherit all these properties and methods from this teacher class, then we have to type here teacher, meaning we are going to use or inherit all the properties and the methods and functions, whatever we have inside this parent class, okay, or super class. All right, now let's just say pass. What does pass means? Pass is nothing but a keyword in Python programming, and when we use this pass, when we don't want to add any properties or functions or methods for this student class, okay, for this child class. Now just we can check whether we can access all the properties and methods and functions of the parent class teacher. Okay, how we can do it? To do it, we have to create object, because the purpose of creating object is to access the properties and methods of inbuilt method and properties of the Python programming, as well as we can access whatever we create properties and methods and functions. Okay, so A student, I can say student 1 is equal to student class name must be capital, and I can say student. Okay, student, and name of the student can be, actually uh, we didn't create anything. Now we want to access all these properties: first name, last name, age, okay, from the parent class. So how we can do it? Even we can access this uh, uh, method and function, display function. Okay, how? Say for example, name of the student is Smith Blake. Okay, and age is 17. Okay, now let's try to access all the methods and properties just using using display function. Okay, and let's see whether it can display the student number 1 object. Okay, so s1 dot notation, we call it dot notation, you can just say dot. Okay, and let's check whether we can access the properties and functions. Say hello everyone, my name is Smith Blake and I'm 17 years old. We can access all these properties and also function, because we are using this function to access all these properties using s1 object that is created from student. Clear? Wonderful. If it is clear, it's really good. You have now a very clear concept in Python programming. How does object is created, how object is created, and how we can access all the methods and properties of Python programming that comes inbuilt or built in along with the Python programming itself, and how you can inherit from superclass. Okay, superclass or um, parent class, creating another child class, or even you can create another grandchild class. You can even access them. Okay, how? uh, Let me show you. I can say class, another class, and this student is boy student, male student. Okay, and this is now grandchild class, child of the student class, and student is a child of teacher. Okay, now we are going to access all the methods and properties of student. Okay, student class, and we can say pass, means we are not going to create any properties or methods or functions. And now we can also create boy student bs1 equal to boy student, and boy student has a name is uh, say Hima. Okay, and Hima is Rachel, and Hima has age and it is 27, say for example. And now let's see whether we can access with bs1 and use the same display function. Okay, just clear it, run it, and we can see, hello everyone, my name is Hima Ritual and I am 27 years old. Even the grandchild class, okay, of teacher can access all the properties and function from here. Okay, now if you want to add some um, some properties, methods or functions, you have to use another init method. How we can do it? I can say def, okay, underscore init, and whenever you use this another constructor for child class, okay, now this class cannot access all the methods and properties directly, okay, unless you say self, okay, and whatever you are going to access, unless you mention them here, we are going to access all this, okay, we are going to access all this, we are going to inherit, so we have to mention here, actually just paste it, okay, and whatever you want to add, okay, new, you have to mention after all these parameters. New parameters, student can have his or her own parameter, own we can say properties, okay. Let's say for example student has own ID, okay, now ID, so what do you have to do? Then again you have to say teacher, okay, teacher dot underscore init, another init method, and inside this init method you have to tell what exactly you are inheriting. Now you can just copy from here, okay, what exactly you are inheriting, you are mentioning here, okay. Now what is the difference between this init method and this init method? This init method says we are going to inherit this and also adding some more properties, okay, and this one is exactly mentioning what we are going to inherit. Here is inheritance as well as adding own properties of student, okay, clear? All right, now I don't want to now this is student, right? I don't want to make it complicated, let's keep it simple, okay. Now student one, okay, we haven't this anymore, Student 1 is created from student, okay, and now this teacher is this superclass teacher, okay, or this teacher. Please don't be confused. And now it has ID, and ID is, say for example, ID 101, okay, or just you can say ID 101, okay. It can be integer also. And what does it have? Name, okay, ID. Fine. Now we created this object, right? Now we can run it, and we can see actually we have now ID also. After age, I can tell first name, last name. We can mention my ID is self dot ID, okay, and I am this, okay. I hope it is clear. All right, self.id. What's wrong with it? Let's check. ID. Now, okay. Oh, what happened is we added ID, so we have to define it also. So we can say self.id equal to ID, okay. Now where is ID? Self.id is ID. What's wrong with it? ID, is ID integer? Let's check. ID, okay, ID is this ID. It's not integer. Everything seems fine. Still, what's wrong with this? Self instance of teacher has no ID. Okay, fine. Actually, this teacher don't have ID. So if we want to use it, we have to create another function, okay. So we don't want to access it, or what we can do, no, actually I want to use this ID also. Okay, just keep it. So I can say, actually I can create this function. I don't want to use this function. I want to create my own function, okay. I'm not going to use it, so I just take it out, this ID. Okay, I hope it will be easier. Now just create another function here. Just create here def, and name of the function is print my doc. Okay, doc, print my doc. Now I can say prints. I can copy and paste here. Sorry, excuse me. I can print, sorry, copy and paste here. Come on, what's wrong? I just want to copy and print here. Okay, and uh, instead of in my ID is self.id. Okay, what's wrong? Self undefined. Okay, let's check. Okay, self here. Okay, now to be connected with uh, this class, self instance is here. Self and self instance of the class will be everywhere. Okay, now just execute it and we say, hello, my name is Smith Blake, and I'm 17 years old. This is created, this object is created from student. Okay, all right, beautiful. Now beautiful, just look at it. Now you can actually delete all these things, and you don't need to rewrite all these things again and again to access them. Okay, so we are writing less codes, programming more less codes. Thus we are saving a lot of time. Saving time means we are saving the cost of the software. Okay, saving more, making more cost effective means we are making more profits. Okay, and it's more these codes are reusable, and you can keep improving. You can modularize it. Okay, make it more beautiful, more clean coding. And that is why object oriented programming is too much popular among the programmers. Okay, so I think it's really easy. Okay, scalable. You can modularize it, you can save time, you can save money, and you can write clean codes. Okay, so it was object-oriented programming and all about inheritance. Okay, how does it work in object-oriented programming? That's a really important concept. Please do little practice once, twice, thrice, 5 times, 10 times, until or unless you are um, confident. Okay, so thank you so much. See you in the next class. Okay, actually we can make it a little smaller. Okay, uh, just with command minus or control minus on Windows and command minus in MacBook, control plus on Windows and command plus on MacBook. Okay, now you can see uh, at a glance how beautiful this programming concept is, and the codes are very neat and clean. Okay, so just this single video under uh, an hour you can learn uh, object oriented programming if you listen very carefully. Okay, if you don't subscribe this channel yet, please don't forget to subscribe. And uh, I start teaching programming languages, especially Python, JavaScript, and Ruby, mm, completely online. If you are interested, you can join from anywhere in the world, and you can just mm, shoot an email, be a boss. Okay, be a boss at the rate boss developers.org. Email now, okay, and become a boss developer. That's all for today. See you in the next session. Take care.